메신저도 SNS.
교수님은
커뮤니티도 SNS가
맞습니다.
물론 카페 같은 거 넓게 보자면. 그리고 대표적으로 인스타그램, 트위터, 요즘 트위터 나오는 게 X, 그리고 페이스북, 틱톡, 그리고 스레드, 이런 것도 대표적인 SNS라 볼 수 있겠습니다. 여러분이 SNS를 얼마나 많이 활용하십니까? 웬만하면 한 두세 개는 쓸 것 같아요. 일단 유튜브는 다 하고 있으니까. 카카오도 쓰죠. 두개 쓰죠. 여기서 이제 인스타그램 하면 3개고. 저는 개인적으로 SNS를 그렇게 썩 좋아하지 않습니다. 왜냐하면 저는 개인적으로 타인에 대한 별로 무시하지 않아요. 네. 그 사람들, 그 사람 나름대로 뭐 살아가는 이유가 있겠다 생각합니다. 제가 남들 사는 단속하고 이런 거 좋아하지 않거든요. 근데 한국 사람들 좋아하는 거예요. 특히 인스타그램을 많이 좋아하는 거 같아요. 인스타그램. 여자분들도 인스타그램 많이 좋아하는 거 같아요. 좋아하는 게 나쁜 건 아닌데 인스타그램 때문에 삶이 피폐해지고 좀 멘탈이 깨져나가고 안 받아도 되는 스트레스를 받는 분들이 많은 것 같아요. 여자분들 중에. 남자도 받고 있고. 왜냐하면 이 SNS가 그 사람의 진짜 모습을 보기보다는 굉장히 뭔가 좀 가상의 모습을 보여주기 때문에 우리가 SNS를 하잖아요. 예를 들어서 뭐 인스타그램을 해요. 근데 인스타그램 볼 때만 신기한 게 뭐야? 사람 다 웃고 있어. 우는 표정 짓는 사람 없어. 화난 사람은 없어. 이상하다. 대한민국 사람들 대부분 하나 있어. 일상에서 보는 사람들 항상 인상 쓰고 표정 안 짓는 사람들.
And the next following week, they said, oh, you're delivering these papers. I said, okay, and they handed these documents this thick. That you're driving them to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and you're going to ask for Warren Beatty, who was at the time the biggest movie star in the world, also a director, a writer, he was everything. Warren Beatty. And I go to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, where he's living in the tent. No, I can't give them to him. They would be invalid if I hand them to you. They have to be handed to Mr. Beatty directly. So I have to do that or I have to take them back.
And you're completely false.
Completely, just made it up in that moment. And I didn't think I was hurting anybody. And so all of a sudden I'm standing in front of Warren Beatty on the top floor. He was very generous and spent an hour with me, just sitting and talking. And so it was great stories, but it was the beginning of the demystification of how leverage worked in Hollywood. And then I thought I can expand this and I can do this every day with, even if I don't have a job to deliver papers, I'll say, hi, my name is Brian Grazer, I work in the legal department at Warner Brothers, and I want to meet your boss for the following reasons, and I do not want a job. And every person said yes, including Lou Wasserman, Jules Stein. Lou Wasserman was literally, there you go, I'm joking, and came back with a legal tab, big legal tab, paper, and the pencil. And he said, take those items, and when you put the pencil to the paper, it has greater value than it did as separate. And I realized he was saying, you got to start writing. You have to own things. So I better make something. And making something was to write stories that were predominantly built out of my imagined pilots and to be. Yeah.
What were creative ways you went about saving money?
Well, I made money even when I was young, because I always had odd jobs selling magazines, paper outs he's a perfect producer. He's doing a free paper out and still getting money. I put a bunch of money in a mountain.
Why'd you?
I don't know, in a strong box. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Back to Squawk Box. I'm at the Askanites Kiss Festival. NBC Universal News Group is the media partner with Aspen, and joining me right now is Oscar, Golden Globe, Emmy, and Grammy Award-winning producer Brian Grazer. He's the founder, executive chairman of Imagine Entertainment. Easy peasy. We are here together at, I don't know what, it's early for you.
Yeah, it's early, yeah.
I know,
It is.
but we want to thank you for being here. I got a couple questions from Joe. He's got some questions for you about Hollywood and
Okay.
the movie theater business. I was actually even going to start there, which is
Wherever you want.
well, we want to talk about consolidation. We want to talk
Okay.
about sort of the changing nature of all of this.
Yes.
But what do you think about the fact that it feels like, despite Barbie and Oppenheimer last summer,
Yeah.
maybe people aren't really going back to the movie theaters?
I have a no. Well, there's some evidence that supports that.
Yeah.
Imagine has always played in the zone where there is that chance, high probability of chance that it will be successful in the movie.
Okay.
And so it's okay. It's great for us,
Right.
Because we've built over 30 years over 100 different products, brands. You know, whether it's Backdraft, which I'm now going to do today with Glenn Powell, or whether it's 24, a movie that we're going to do in a very interesting way with Disney Fox. So these formats of the late 90s and the 2000s have become very important because the streamers or the people or studios are very, right now, even more a risk averse.
Right.
And so what they like to do, as you just pointed out, by doing Barbie, like a, what is it, 100-year-old product or something, they like brands that are already established that people have high level of awareness to, that where you actually add a new twist or really interesting casting, right? Which is, of course, what we're doing with ours. We're doing something with Sydney Sweeney, right, which I'm very excited about. We're doing something with Scarlett Johansson, also very excited about. I mentioned Glenn Powell of Backdraft. So we're doing, but
I
actually
think
think
this
something
is
like that.
dependent, therefore, on this. It's not as a former generation, but generations of people who grew up in a different era, effectively, when it was a little bit less fractured,
Yeah.
where you could actually create these moments. Backdraft was a huge picture.
Yeah.
The question is, would Backdraft, if you had to do Backdraft as an original today,
Yeah,
could it be a huge picture?
I think so.
You
Yes.
think so?
Well, because actually AI and digital effects have so far advanced themselves, right, that you can have tiny little cameras, almost imperceptible, that will capture the physics of a fire in a way that's never been done before. So even when I saw, I'm sure you saw Doom 2.
Yes.
That blew my mind. I thought it was absolutely so state-of-the-art and amazing. And those are the benefits of AI and the advancement of digital effects. And so, I think you can do that. What do you think? That's the goal.
That's the goal. What do you think is going to happen just to the streaming world right now? Because it feels like everybody's trying to make sense of it. There's a lot of talk about consolidation. We have an election coming up.
Yes.
There's a lot of folks waiting to figure out, whether regulators should allow, will allow. Do you think that in the next year or two there will actually be demonstrable consolidation among the streamers?
I do.
You do.
I do. I don't want that.
You don't want that to be true.
No.
It's not good for your business.
Well, it's not optimal.
Right.
It'll still be, they will still choose high quality entertainment. It'll always, we're now in a time where we're not going backwards and doing just shelf space content any longer. I don't think any streamer or any studio wants to do that any longer. They don't see that the super aggregator works. I think they see specific movies and television shows that are events or appointments.
So that's interesting you say that, because Netflix has become a super aggregator, and you think the Netflix has made it work.
They're unusual. They are in another category.
But you think everybody else who's been chasing the fever dream of trying to be Netflix, you think that is a fever dream?
I'm saying it for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just saying it for me.
What do you think is going to, I mean, we've all been talking about the future of Paramount. We've been talking about the future of Warner Brothers, this company, which is owned by Comcast and Peacock. Did you see, are those, when you think about the
This
chess
company's
pieces,
amazing.
CNBC, love you. Lionsgate, I mean, how do you see that all coming together, or not?
Okay,
If you were moving the chess pieces,
well, I think being a high quality, single independent that creates partnerships with their IP and emerging talent, stars. I think being an arms dealer to all of those streamers is a good business.
right?
I think the smaller financing entities, the smaller, or the companies that are the ones you just mentioned,
Right.
they will probably have to be consolidated into bigger companies.
If you're moving a chess piece,
Streamers is a good business. Partnerships with single.
Okay. Do you see that all coming together, or not?
Okay.
If you were moving the chess pieces,
Well, I think being a high quality